This is Ancona Talk. Our channel is for the ambitious, for the hungry, for those who will never quit and always produce results and find a way to succeed. Here you're going to get access to a series of hand-picked interviews conducted by Peter J. Ancona as we explore the strengths, ambitions, and mindsets of the top producers at Ancona Real Estate and also our dedicated community leaders. So we encourage you, keep growing, keep learning, and one day soon, we could end up interviewing you right here. Enjoy today's video. What the heck are we doing here, my friend?
We're talking. We're on Ancona Talk talking.
It is nice to have you on our podcast, and our podcast is meant for the most ambitious people that want success, that want to tell their story. So we're very happy to have you here, and I know you're a team leader within your group, which is why we decided to highlight you. And before we get into all of that craziness, we're going to have a little bit of a moment where we go back in time. And I want to go back to the moment that you decided to become a real estate agent. How the heck did that happen, if you could tell us the story?
All right, perfect. I was growing up learning about real estate with my uncle. He was kind of property managing his own properties, and he always told me real estate is the ultimate investment. And I listened. I'm very analytical. I like to run numbers, do all these things. But the moment that I decided to get my license, it was a year after I bought my first property. It was a duplex up in Hollywood. I bought it, I started doing everything to it, and I was like, Other people asking me questions, they want to learn about investments, they see what I'm doing, maybe I can help them out. And I was, at that point, a Kung Fu teacher.
That's awesome, that's awesome.
It's fun,
Right.
It's fun, it was a lot of fun, but admittedly, it didn't pay the bills the way I wanted it to. I started studying for the test, and I didn't really have the in-person test. I was doing it at my own pace. I remember me studying in Cuba for the licensing test as well. Came back, took it, passed it, and really that's kind of how I ended up there.
But where was the moment, the thought, the day? Were you watching a show? Were you having a conversation? It's like, you know what? I'm going to go sign up for this test.
So remember how I told you that I grew up with my uncle talking about it, right? I think it was on one of his birthdays after he passed away. I walked up to a candle that we light on his birthday. And I was like, I want to make you proud, Ozzy, because he's kind of like my father figure as well in my life. He taught me in what I see how to be a man. And it just clicked. I was like, all right, I want to be a realtor. I want to go all in on that.
So that deep conversation you had, that triggered that at that moment.
That was the moment that kind of triggered it right there. Also, one of my Kung Fu uncles was a real estate broker as well. And I guess a bunch of conversations with that and then thinking about what my uncle taught me kind of melded into a aha moment right there. And yeah, want to jump all in.
So I want to morph into some things you said. So you were in Cuba. Were you on a special mission force for the United States government?
No, it was a visit to Cuba. I had never been before. I'm half Cuban. I went to go visit my family in Guinas. And I also wanted to see the Kung Fu Federation in Cuba so I could talk to like the head of it. It was a fun trip. I got to perform in front of them. I got to see them perform for me. Pretty cordial. Food is great over there. And yeah, so that was really what was happening at that point.
Well, one of the things we believe in is real estate. You buy or sell from that individual, and you're obviously fascinating with your background. So tell us more about you, the individual. How the heck did you get into Kung Fu? Give us a backstory up to that. And,
Easy. So I was, I think, 10 or 11. And my family, the Cuban half of it at least, was in Miami for a very long time. And they used to enjoy fighting. It's funny to say, but my grandpa, my uncle, everyone used to enjoy fighting. They used to do Kung Fu. My uncle stuck to it the most. He became a teacher with this teacher called Bak Hei Chin.
Okay.
He opened up a Kung Fu school here, and this was like the 80s, 70s, 80s, where it was like a really big craze for it. Fast forward up to when I turned 10, I was like, I want to be like my Uncle Frank. I want to learn some Kung Fu, get into it. I go to his yard, he would teach me a bit, but then he said, okay, I can't teach you anymore. Go find a school. I go look for a Kung Fu school, and there's a school called Kung Fu Connection in North Miami.
Wow.
I go over there, Now, I was a really, really, really shy kid. So even though like I was taller than my dad, for example, I would hide behind him when talking conversations.
Okay.
I was just that shy.
Sure.
I walk in, I look at the place, I want to join it, and I wait another half a year before I do it because I was too scared to jump in.
Okay. Well, sometimes the right thing happens when it's meant to happen, right?
Mhm.
So you jump in a year and a half later.
I jump in, not a year and a half, about
yeah.
half a year to
Half
a
a
year
year
later.
Okay.
Jump in, and lo and behold, the teacher, the owner of the school, Master Rubio, learned from the same instructor that my uncle learned from. So it's the same Kung Fu family. Then it was a really interesting moment because I like to dedicate myself to certain things. I like to set a goal and I don't stop until I get to it. And obviously I was like, 11 years old. So I would have little mini goals here and there that I would chase.
It's amazing. Right?
But I wanted to set one long-term one that I could absolutely achieve. And I said, okay, I'm going to become a Kung Fu master. That's it.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
I said that to myself,
Right.
and I did not stop. Turned 18.
So 7 years at that point of practicing.
Right. I had the opportunity to manage a Kung Fu school on my own. I got the title of instructor. I mean, I was an assistant when I was 13, 14. Yeah, helping kids' classes, helping the adult classes. But when I turned 18, I got the opportunity, and I jumped right for it. That's when my Kung Fu I was at the peak of my training and everything. I dedicated myself to it. And I wanted to take the next step to fly out to different states and compete in tournaments. Because why not? I'm a very competitive individual.
Sure.
So I started flying out to, I forgot which state, I think South Carolina. They do biannual Kung Fu tournaments over there. I show up the first time, I win a couple medals. Okay, I'm not happy with a couple of medals. I'm happy with first place.
Right, I get it.
So I come back here, I think it was 5 months. I train so much. I lose a bunch of weight. I think that was like my best peak shape.
So you're like Rocky 2 right now at this point.
I go
Maybe
over
Rocky 3, right?
I go over to this tournament. Now, I didn't want to do the fighting divisions in it, but I wanted to compete in the form divisions. Lots of different weapons you could learn, double swords, spears, everything like that. And open hand as well for forms. I go, and apparently some people remembered me. I realized that I went to go compete in one of the divisions. You compete in multiple in a tournament, try to win as many medals as you can. I compete in one division, and one person from the previous tournament saw me compete. They saw that I had improved drastically. And the next division that we were going to, before we even had the chance, he dropped out. He was just like, I'm not even gonna try. That to me was like a moment where I don't like to say I'm the best at things, or I don't like to say I'm that good in Kung Fu, but it was a moment where I kind of realized, oh shoot, I'm actually becoming something in this.
Sure. Well, it's reputation and psychology to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Get a couple gold medals. I'm very happy at this point. Come back, and Kung Fu is kind of like a family system. I don't know if you ever seen Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda.
You know Master Shifu?
It's been a while, but yeah, I saw it with my kids.
Yeah, the panda's teacher in the movie. Well, Shifu, the way we say it is Sifu. It means teacher / father figure. Okay. Sifu, Sihing, Si-Dai, and then in Todai, which is either disciple or infant.
Wow.
Everyone starts off as a Todai. I become a Si-Dai, which is a younger brother in the family structure. And then currently, I'm a Sihing. And then one day he approached me. Well, he called me to his office, better said. And he said, so, do you want to be a disciple? For you to understand the magnitude that was for me. That was like that was my goal, all wrapped up in one fell swoop right there. I wanted nothing more than to have the discipleship title, because that means I can pass down the lineage formally. Of course I said yes. I said yes,
very cool, yeah.
Jumped directly for it. And it's not just a cool thing in that regard, because it's a responsibility. At some point in my lifetime, I do need to pass down my Kung Fu knowledge.
Right.
And so I did have to think about it. I gave myself the 3 seconds, and then I said yes.
No, it's super cool. Yeah, I have a friend who's a monk, and then at the end, the last quarter of your life, it's all about giving back and teaching another generation and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
Yeah, they
really
build their life in 4 quarters. So your final quarter starts from 60 upward, and it's all about just reconnecting with, the earth and not stuff, and then passing on all of your info and knowledge to the next generation.
Interesting. Interesting.
Then the other quarters are growth and, experience and family, and then that's the final one. It's just kind of cool. Yeah, yeah.
But
So he's at the stage where he's selling all his stuff, and he's shedding all of his assets and trying to pass on his knowledge.
that's a
It's
very
kinda
interesting
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a little bit different, but the giving back aspect is definitely there for disciples.
All right,
I'd
so
say-
you conquer this baby and you go
Mhm.
for it. And then at some point you become a master.
That was last year.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I
So it took you
achieved
14 years to get there.
that. 13. Actually,
13 years.
discipleship took 11. The master rank took 12.
Pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. That's really cool. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool. So how the heck do we marry these two worlds? I know we discussed a little bit about your branding where you would fight for your customers. What was that tagline that we were talking about?
Let me fight on your behalf.
Let
I
me
think.
fight on your behalf.
Mhm.
So how has that been since you started to integrate Let Me Fight on Your Behalf to your real estate customers that you want to protect?
They find it very interesting because they ask, why is it that? And then I get to go into the lovely story of Kung Fu.
Right.
And also, at least for my clients, and I would hope for any realtor, I do look out for their best interests. I know there are some people who, I've met some realtors that are a little bit shady in that respect, and I don't really jive with that as much. I really do try to give it my all, no matter what transaction it is that I receive.
Well, I love the background of the discipline of your past life, let's call it, that merges with your current life and how you can help people. It's really cool.
I love it too.
So let me continue to bring you backwards. So
Mhm.
how the heck do we join each other's paths? How'd you find this brokerage or this company or
So
us?
Bruno, which is another realtor here at Ancona, I went to a random party one day, and I was talking about real estate.
It was a party?
It was a party.
It was a good party, hopefully.
It was like with high school friends. A high school friend threw a party. He was my massage therapist, and he said, "Jojo, come on by. There's a bunch of familiar faces." I'm like,
Okay,
perfect.
it's a good party. All right.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I go there, and of course, the one thing I'm talking about is either Kung Fu or real estate. I read the room, it was real estate. I started talking about it, and Bruno started talking about it as well. He was asking me what I had been doing, how I got my investment property. We were just talking a little bit. Got exchanged each other's contacts, even though we had each other's contacts since middle school, and parted ways. Fast forward a couple of months, I'm trying to look for a new brokerage. And I think to myself, okay, you know what? Let me just call Bruno. Let's see what he found. And the rest led to me right here.
And here we are. Here we are,
Mhm,
part
here
of
we are.
the Dean Group, and Bruno's your sidekick now in on this endeavor. And then we put you through a crazy training. So the crazy training is a minimum investment of 125 hours over a 3-month period. That kicks off with this pre-training and then a live day. And you're with a group of about 10 people. What's nice is, and one of the reasons you're on the podcast is you chose to become the leader of that group, which is no surprise given the story and the background that you told us. But how was that live day for you, which was intense, 12 hours, us jumping up and down and taking in knowledge and growing?
I don't know if you knew, but that day, and I was so sick that day. Every break that you gave us, I had to go to the restroom and check up on myself. I guess I was dehydrated, but I didn't care because everything that you were teaching that day was just so worth it. I even volunteered to. I think you asked who needed to read some of the pages as well.
Read some pages, right.
And I think my throat was sore and everything, but no one else was raising their hand. So I'm like, come on, we need to move forward with this. I want to learn. So I raised my hand. It was so much fun. So I think
I didn't notice you were dehydrated. So
I don't know what was going on that
Did a good
day.
job.
All I knew is that I was super sick, but I did not care. It was so worth every single minute of the information that you were giving us. And slowly but surely, everything from that, I'm trying my best to implement onto my day-to-day, kind of like the routine that you mentioned.
Sure.
The
Kinda reminds you of
routine
the
to
Kung
me
Fu.
is gold.
Right. Reminds you of your Kung Fu stuff.
Exactly.
Right? So what made you choose to become the team leader when because I said, if you're going to be the team leader, you have to be that person that is the best in this training, that is the best of your group. And you didn't hesitate, so you went for it. So what was
Zero
the thought? What was
hesitation.
the thought pattern on there?
Well, remember how I told you that when I did Kung Fu, I said to myself that I wanted to be a master, and I did not stop until I did? Same thing with real estate. Before I gave Dean a call, I thought to myself, I'm like, how far do I want to take what I'm going to do? And I'm really hold myself to my standards. I said, I want to become the best that I can be. And to become the best that I can be, I had to meet those qualifications. You have to be the best in the room. You have to raise your hand first. And so I did.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. So then you will go through this process, right? Was there an aha moment that day of something that maybe you knew, but then it was solidified? Or sometimes we take information differently as we go through life. So it might be, yes, I kind of know that, but now it clicks with me.
Social media.
Social media.
Social media.
What was the big impact that it was for you?
There was a lot to learn with social media. It was social media and connectors. It was just your way of going about how to kind of network and meet people that really clicked with me. I remember you mentioned in the routine to frequent certain spots so that you meet new people every single week. You have a minimum amount of people that you're supposed to add to your network. And it was kind of that kind of, remember, I like to do math a lot. I started doing the math. I'm like, wow, you actually meet a lot of people that way. And then you retain them via social media or email blasts, showing your face at least 5 times a week to them. So right after that, I really started posting more and more on social media, every single day. And, sometimes there's big hits on social media. Sometimes there isn't, but the consistency of it, the techniques that you were teaching us in the training, honestly, all of it culminates really well with each other. It blends really well. I'm going to say it right now, if someone receives all that training, they don't do anything with it, they're not going to get anything. But if someone receives your training and actually implements every last bit of it, it's impossible to fail. Genuinely.
Yeah, well, we have it down to a science over 21 years.
Almost my whole life's worth of time right there in one training. Of course, I was going to try to absorb every last bit of it.
That's super cool. And how has your friends and family been reacting to your newfound routines and everything that you've been doing?
My friends are very happy. They see they look at my social media a lot. So they see, oh, wow, you went to the Dolce Gabbana. Oh, wow, that Waldorf Astoria video looks awesome. That's going to be the tallest tower in Miami, and a couple other things. But my family, on the other hand, you know how it is with family. Some of them will support, some of them won't.
Well, it's kind of a natural thing. So you're going to have some family, maybe they see you changing into whoever you're meant to be in the future, and that scares people from losing you. And that's a natural thing. How everybody kind of turns around is when you start cashing checks.
Yes. That's what I'm waiting for with my grandma.
don't think in the short term that a lot of people won't get it, but once you get to the point of success, those same people will turn around and praise you. The same exact person that was criticizing you. Exactly.
I'm a strong believer that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So time.
Yeah,
and just continuing the momentum, not stopping, consistency with the routine. I think that's what's going to lead me to that success.
It's pretty cool. So speaking of the training, one thing I had you guys do, which was a lot of fun, was go to these new construction projects, which you highlighted, like the Waldorf, like the Ritz-Carlton and all those good stuff. How was it for you going into these projects, seeing multi-million-dollar places that you could sell, and then also seeing crazy finishes like rare stones and appliances that cost like $40,000, $50,000 a clip?
It was really cool. I remember the first one we went to, Aura by Casa Tua. When I first walked in there, I had never been in a sales gallery before. I didn't even know they really were a thing. I didn't even know the concept of pre-construction. So we went to Aura, and then every week I was assigned to schedule a new one. Each time I go to them, I was amazed by the amenities they bring, the finishes. I think one of my favorite ones was Waldorf and Dolce. Dolce Gabbana on the inside, the attention to detail for them was that everything was made by Dolce Gabbana. So to me, that was such a cool aspect of it.
Meaning the furniture and the plates and everything comes with it.
Everything. The couches, apparently tailored by Dolce Gabbana. So I was like, wow, this is a very unique thing. And the fact that it's all coming to Miami, especially, look at Brickell. It's going to be it's a little melting pot of these amazing high rises that are coming in the future. It's going to look like a different city in the next 3 years.
It is super unique, every project, right? So you mentioned Aura first, which has the ability to give you an EB-5 visa,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And then you could make income on that and get a
Airbnb,
visa, right?
Airbnb, short-term rentals, or if I'm not mistaken, but also like the stuff that Aura had. I think they had what, 4 restaurants or something like
Oh, it's
that.
all about food, right? So you have food,
Mhm.
visa, income. I mean, it's
had
the
a little bit
ultimate
of
Miami
everything.
dream, right? I mean,
Exactly, a little bit of everything that you want.
and then like a brand like the Waldorf Astoria is just history.
Oh
It's just
my
a history. They're
God.
one of the oldest recognized luxury brands, 1,000-foot tower, comparable to New York City's towers. You have people who are buying in those penthouses that are some of the most well-known people in the world. Really cool, really cool. Now, I know you went to the Waldorf recently and they were in the middle of the construction. You wore a hard hat, you did a social media video that went viral. How was the experience of going up one of those exoskeleton elevators?
Oh my God. It's funny because I was very nervous going up that elevator. You could see it in the video. People were commenting, "Oh, Buddy's tweaking a little bit on the, I think, buck hoist." I forgot exactly what the elevator is called. And I had a friend in construction. They called me and said, "Your reaction on that elevator is hilarious." Because remember,
It's scary. It's pretty scary.
You also told me a story. I think you had gotten stuck in one.
Yeah, we
once,
got
right?
stuck in one with someone that was afraid of heights.
Oh,
Yeah, it was wild.
yeah. So that was all that was going through my head. I was like, please don't get to the 40th floor and get stuck. Another friend told me a story of how 7 floors before they hit the ground, it just fell.
Fell? Wow, that's wild.
So
There's some safety mechanism. I hoped I would kick in.
It felt safe. They reassured me on it, so I got on it, and it was really cool, especially since it's open air too. So you're going up, and it's just all out there.
Well, that's the scary part. So you have to be very, in my opinion, alert
Yes.
and have a good sense of common sense. Because once you get off the exoskeleton, there are no safety measures to falling.
Yeah, and
So
like over here in
there's
the
no
office.
glass.
There's-
This would be
there's
like no glass, right?
no glass,
No
just
glass.
there's a plank of wood. I touched the plank of wood, and you can move it a couple of inches side to side. I'm like, this is the most not put together piece right here, but it's not supposed to be. They're waiting for the glass to be put up. It's terrifying, definitely, looking over, and I was like, oh, that's.
But it's cool that you're
That's
there,
50
and then
floors.
and you get to show clients what their views could look like while
That's-
something's being built, right?
That's what was my favorite thing. I was looking around since there's like not as many walls blocking you off. You get to see all the views across the cube because it's 9 cubes on each other, and that's really what I see like the benefit of it. Like if anyone was ever interested in it, you can bring them on there. They could see the beautiful view from there. What's the bridge that they're building? The Monument Bridge.
Monument Bridge.
Whatever it's
Off of
called.
395, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was a really cool experience, and it is my best performing video.
Yeah, you've had like a lot of success with that one. That was nice. So now we
Mhm.
got to keep going with that success.
Oh yeah.
And I know you've been to a lot of projects now as part of repetition. One thing and you could tell me your experience from the projects, but my experience is people get to reserve what they can't find and they get to pay for it over time. Was there one project that has stood out to you so far as your favorite?
Waldorf.
Oh, by far. Okay,
By-
nice.
like-
What do you like about it the most?
It has a certain feel to it. I don't know. It's just, it could be the name, it could be the design. You've seen what the renderings of the building are, right? It's like offset cubes from each other. The last one's really offset from the center. The design of it's really cool. What they bring to the table, the Peacock Alley aspect of it's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I like the location of it as well. It just has a lot of what kind of melts with me personally. A good runner-up would be Aura by Casa Tua, just because the Italian food, the Argentinian grill that they have there, I have a soft spot for that.
Yeah, well, I think we all do. We all do have a soft spot for great food, right?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
branding and reputation.
But yeah, it'd definitely be the
Um,
Waldorf.
Where would you consider your major farm areas now that you've been tackling this?
Miami Beach,
okay.
Brickell, and Edgewater area would be like the 3 that I can narrow it down to. The most would be Miami Beach and Brickell.
Okay. And I know you're a young man in your early to mid 20s. Who's your ideal client? Who's your typical client look like?
So I've run into 2 mainly. It's either people my age that are successful in a specific field. It could be clothes, it could be car rentals, People I get along with, admittedly. Sometimes martial artists, they come up to me, they say, hey, I want to buy a property. The other one would be parents of people my age. So it's always people my age that I'm meeting and connecting with. And then from there, it kind of spreads out. But ideal client, generally my age, successful in a specific industry.
Okay. And then what would you say you enjoy most about real estate? What's your favorite thing about doing this specific craft?
Well, for me, before joining the brokerage, it was the fact that I like helping people find out where they want to live. Everyone needs a home.
Yes.
But after joining the brokerage, there's so many cool places to live, Peter. So many. Like the pre-constructions alone, those sales galleries give you an idea of what's to come in the future. And there's some, here in Miami at least, there's really, some houses have cool history behind them. You have the Art Deco style in Miami Beach, things like that. I really like, it stimulates me, I guess, my brain.
Well, I fall in love with all properties as well. I see the beauty in all architectures and all designs
Exactly,
and
yeah.
all those wonderful things. So that's really unique in that sense. We're at the part of the interview now where you could ask me any question you'd love to know about us or the brokerage, because this really highlights you and your skills, but at the same time, we could have a little fun back and forth. So is there anything you'd love to know about us or the company?
What was your favorite pre-construction?
My favorite pre-construction. I'm a big sucker of Bentley.
Bentley. Any
Bentley.
reason why?
I always loved the Bentley since I was a kid. I loved the story. I loved the curation of it. I actually think it's really cool that the cars are inside your apartment.
Yes.
So they market it as a home in the sky. And when you look at the aspect of when you walk into the apartments, you have a foyer with a glass wall, and the glass wall, you're looking at a pool. And it's a long pool inside a condo. But before you enter that point, you have a 3 or 4 car garage inside the apartment.
Yes.
So it's like, oh my God. Then when you get inside, they had technology that is new for 2025, 2026. So you have a kitchen that kind of becomes larger or bigger based on how you want to configure it. It's almost like Tetris. Then you have these glass walls that open up with just slightly touching your finger. So when you get outside, they equated for the wind on the ocean, and you have a diamond pattern which mimics the diamonds that are etched into the seats of the Bentley. So besides loving the brand, you could see it was done by someone that really appreciates that attention and is making something that nobody else has ever designed before. So for me, to answer your question, it would be Bentley at this stage. Now, but like you, I fall in love with properties every single week. That could change next week, but for this week, currently, I'm really into that brand.
It's Bentley. Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
I do like the way they had like the windows kind of mimicking the etchings of the seat. That was a really cool detail that the whole building has. Also right in front of the water.
Oh yeah,
Directly.
anything in front of the ocean.
Anything in front of the ocean is just stunning.
Right.
I really like that pre-construction. I think some of them have, the apartments have 3 parking spots or something?
So 3 on the smaller side and 4 on the bigger side.
Crazy. Like imagine you're 50 stories high in the air, you have your car in view from your living room.
Yeah. Well, like if you're an introvert, you never have to see anybody.
Ever.
You drive into the building, into your condo, and then that's how you leave.
I love it.
We're also at a point in the interview now where I'm going to invite you to come back at a future moment when you accomplish this goal that I know you're going to do. I want you to think of your ideal client, and I want you to picture selling them the perfect unit that you want to accomplish in the next 12 to 24 months.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you in a second just speak straight to the camera, pretend that your client has just met with you, you guys have closed on this unit and you're congratulating them. And then by having the guts to speak that, it starts to make your brain fire to achieve that. So let's begin with, just to ease into it, let's start with who is your ideal client on the surface? Who would be like the perfect client? Age, give me some details, make up a person.
23, 24, 25-ish range, maybe sometimes a little younger, give or take a couple years.
Okay, so mid-20s, late 20s.
I tend to get along with Argentinian, Italian people a lot.
Argentinian, Italian, okay.
From my other half of my family's like that as well, so I don't know, it's a familiarity thing.
Okay.
And
what do they do for work?
What do they do for work? Let's say, oh, that's a tough question. Restaurants.
Okay, so they own a series of restaurants or chains, or they make their money by food
Yeah.
some one way or another. And then what are they looking to buy?
What are they looking to buy? They want something that they can get a visa with. So,
Something you get a visa
Yeah.
with. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I know where you're going with that. Do you have a price range?
price range anywhere from 800,000 to 2 million.
Okay, but this is a podcast for the ambitious, so we're going to aim for the stars.
Okay.
And then you could hit the moon. So what are they buying then?
So what are they buying? Let's say 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. They're really interested in Aura specifically.
Okay, so a couple $1 million.
Couple million.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's gonna be at the moment in time where you could talk to them, and just do your thing, and then we'll come back to me when you're ready. So I like to have you introduce yourself to your future client.
Dear future client, congratulations on your unit at Aura by Casa Tua. Genuinely, I think you're gonna love the unit. It's a great location, great building, very unique. One of these days, please invite me to the wine bar Uva. I would love to have a drink with you and catch up. And yeah, no, it was an absolute pleasure. You and your family, very, very nice people.
So with that, I'll leave you with your tagline to your client. Your tagline is again?
Let me fight on your behalf.
That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations.
Thank you, Peter.
Very nice.
Our hope was today's video at Ancona Talk inspired you and you found value. If you would like to work for our brokerage, connect with one of our many agents, or use our real estate services, then all of our contact information is below for you to message us and we'll immediately reply. We send you good fortune and blessings on your journey.